currently walking up to a forest. Thought I'd try vlogging for the first time. Moved to Spain recently. And yeah, I've been working really hard over the last couple of years doing some ghost production for a guy, and really worked on my music production skills, figured out quite a lot, got a lot better than I was when I was making a lot of drum and bass anyway. Understood a lot more about musicality and this kind of thing. And there, maybe about a month ago, I had the inspiration of starting a website, starting a company selling samples. And I was lying in bed at like, I don't know, probably 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't sleep, and decided to go onto Fiverr and make a website. And yeah, went horribly wrong. Whole setup, trying to use GoDaddy and register 365 and all this, it was a mess. I was awake until 5 and talking to this lovely guy, Delor from Bangladesh, who was very helpful. Shout out to him. And yeah, started working with him for a while, getting it set up. I got the website functional, and there's like loads of just fake mock-up products up there at the moment, and a few blogs, but nothing substantial just yet. So yeah, the reason for this video is I think a lot of people like the idea of doing content or vlogging and never just bite the bullet and actually do it. And never feel ready, never think you know enough or that you're good enough, or yeah. And so had a bit of a tough day today, some health issues, and wasn't feeling so inspired, and having some doubts about the work I'm doing, and maybe I need to change, or yeah, as you do when you're not feeling the best, you question every aspect of your life. And have to excuse me being out of breath, but I think I'd be much better at talking when I'm walking rather than sitting there trying to think of stuff. So yeah, the idea I've come up with is 100 days of trying to start a company selling sample packs online. Now, I predominantly write sample-based music. I do play a bit of guitar, but I think I'll try and lean into my strengths, or what I think my strengths might be. I think I'm quite creative and resampling stuff, not destructive sampling, making weird shit, making nice melodies. I'm working with a few vocalists around Spain at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to try and focus on the melodic house and melodic techno sound to try and the weird people looking at me to try and yeah, see how it goes. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and record some kind of video like this. 100 days of it, even if 100 days of trying to record my journey, setting everything up. Now I have the bones of a Shopify website, and I have going to be having help getting a proper logo made, have the foundation of an idea there. And I'm not sure should I go too hard on setting up the website just yet, but I think I think I'm just gonna try. Well, I think I'm just gonna try and figure it out as I go along. I have a few different sample pack ideas already started. So the website is institute-audio.com. Maybe it's not the most creative name, but I noticed a lot of sample pack websites, they go for kind of this flashy 3D modeling kind of, a lot of them look very similar, or then there's the kind of cheap kind of rip-off ones that are what would you say, you can see it's very AI generated, lots of AI emails going out, and I'm not a judge of this at all. Content is content and sales are sales, but I think I just want to do things a bit differently. Have a bit of a background in mental health and my own bad mental health, and also a few years studying psychology, social studies and psychotherapy and counselling. And yeah, I was kind of found myself being inspired to do something. I think there's a page that does like how to dance sober, how to DJ sober. I'm not gonna preach to anyone about sobriety or anything like that, but I think that I just thought that it could be a niche to try and do a website sample pack company that's, the theme is essentially like mental health and wellness within music production or DJing or yeah, this kind of thing. So intend on, it's my camera, looks like that now. Doesn't seem to be grabbing my face, but try. No? Okay, try it like that. So yeah, I intend on doing some podcast episodes, interviewing amateur artists, their own struggles, their own ideas about it. Yeah, lots of people looking at me like, what's this guy doing with this thing in his hand? I'm in a very beautiful place at the moment. I'll show you there now in a second. So yeah, sample packs based, the thematic. I think one of the first ones is going to be about sub bass, 808 kicks. It's going to be about, do your subs wreck your head? So I know a lot of people, when they're making music, the whole thing, they high pass everything, or to that kind of pitfall of, there's lots of different things that we're told in production, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and I think it kind of, a lot of my own tracks over the years, definitely, there was no chest in them, or maybe there was just like way too much relying on monitors inside of bad rooms and this kind of thing rather than referencing tracks. And yeah, I think it just takes time to kind of understand how much honk is too much. And yeah, but yeah, all that being said, I certainly don't think that I'm a professional. The whole idea of this journey is to kind of figure it out as I go along, and yeah, try and educate myself and try and educate others and discuss well-being in music. And one of the topics is the value of having a real job while being a creative. That was something that I've discussed with many people over the years. For a long time I was an artist, delusional inside my home, just making music all the time and thinking I was going to be rich and famous if I just kept putting the hours in, and that I was going to prove all the naysayers wrong. And yeah, then all the kind of performing side of it was really bad for me. Just relied on alcohol and always too nervous, and kind of, yeah, I think just kind of had some weird experiences myself, and kind of maybe portrayed an image to others of maybe I was cold or weird or nervous. And then I went sober for 4 years and kind of disappeared from lots of my friends' lives, and yeah, then I had a few gigs, played sober just after coming out of COVID as well, and so everyone was kind of itching for a party. And to be honest, they were probably some of the best gigs I played in terms of my ability and my skill, but it's very difficult to enjoy or to ride that kind of energy without alcohol as being that social lubricant, you know. I think I'm quite a reserved person, maybe like a shy person, nervous, insecure. And so kind of seeing my journey as a producer, as a DJ, trying to figure out like what I wanted to be and the type of music I wanted to make, and I was battling with myself about the idea of being famous or making music for myself, and all these kind of different kind of roles or kind of mind states we go through being producers. All self-critical thing and delusions of grandeur, and the pressure we put on ourselves to keep going and this kind of thing. And then I started getting paid to make music by a lovely guy for the last year and a half, 2 years. I will discuss ghost production in another video, but now I went to, I suppose about 6 months ago I went and seen Bicep and Joy Orbison in Cork City in the Marquee, and it really blew my mind. I'd been listening to so much kind of fast, busy music that had a lot of weight behind it, to then hearing like some breakbeaty stuff and kind of housey and then experimental stuff from Joy Orbison. And I was like drunk texting my buddy Paul in Manic. It was a fucking shit, I can't even remember exactly what I was saying, but I was just had my mind blown almost about how empty the music can be and how swung it can be, and just the use of silence rather than trying to just like fill out all the space to make it feel like really energetic. That inspired me to make some breakbeat of my own for a while, which I should probably release at some point. And I think that's part of this journey as well, as going through the whole process of getting artists and maybe deciding in between CD Baby or DistroKid or this kind of thing. And so was making some breakbeat. The whole idea was really inspired by Fortet and Bicep and Joy Orbison and Bonobo, and so it's just basically like a lot of the elements I was using in drum and bass slowed down, maybe longer kicks, bigger 808s, and then pretty heart melodies. That was something that Fortet talked about in his Tape Notes podcast, that he said he had explored it for too long and he kind of got a bit bored of it. But for me, it was like, it blew my mind. I need to keep an eye on the battery now. I don't want to lose this rant that I went on. So I was okay. So breakbeat, big 808, pretty heart melody, and I got myself a Push 2 Machine Mark III. Just using a lot of splice samples, slicing them up, doing a lot of slicing. I would always start with the drums and then find a nice 808 pattern, try and use what's happening in the 808 to kind of dictate what the mid-range is doing. I always try to imagine that it's like just like a band, you know. The bass usually tends to do something simpler than the guitar or the vocals, but it dances with it. So it's always like, okay, get the drums swinging, maybe an A or B section of the drums, then an A or B section of the bass, maybe a Reese bass, maybe some 808s, maybe both, maybe bass guitar thrown in there, depending on, I don't know, how experimental I'm feeling or whatever. And then I try and use a vocal, chopped up vocal, chopped up synth, and yeah, had some good results with it. Pretty happy with it. Probably should get it out there. But then in the last, since probably last 3-4 months, started going really hard on Serum and Diva. Just out of fear of being judged for being a sample-based producer, and definitely it's important to do both. Definitely it gives a nice aesthetic, having kind of lots of real world sounds. I'll talk about some real world sounds in a minute after I pass the river, but just Paul, my buddy, and Paul Mnemonic, he always said, like, you know, basic wavetable or basic waveform, basic wavetables, and most of your tracks kind of stem from the same source sounds, so make one patch and then kind of make your other patches from that. And definitely learned a lot from that guy. But yeah, as I put more effort into making patches and learning how to make them automate and modulate over time, and I suppose trying to say more with less, essentially, having a good patch, a good ARP, and just modulating with time, opening up the decay, opening up the filter, opening up reverb in certain sections, this kind of thing. The camera seems to be struggling to find out where my face is. And what the fuck is going on here? Oh, there you go, it's a nice view of the place. One sec there now. Okay, just gonna fight with it for a minute.